Going to start in 8:15, so in 2 minutes. We're going to have a 45-minute review of the day. All right, good. Good night, guys. It's 8:15. We're going to be on for 45 minutes today. Want to do a recap and talk to you a little bit about our mission again. Why you see me here all the time and more and more. And the reason is because we are getting sicker and sicker. We as Americans are getting sicker and sicker. And someone has to bring awareness to this. And part of that awareness is that some people have no clue. Some people have given up hope because of the wheel of prosperity pain that this represents. And the wheel of prosperity pain is insulin resistance right there. What people don't understand is insulin resistance is the pain. That's the problem. That's the challenge. And if you are one of the many that think insulin resistance and you hear the word insulin, you turn your ears off, and you have high blood pressure, you have heart issues, cardiovascular disease, CVD, hypertension, arteriosclerosis, if you have high cholesterol, if you have PCOS, if you have neuropathy, blindness, type 1, type 2, type 1.5, type 3 diabetes, guys, fatty liver, those are all signs that you have insulin resistance. That is signs that your body is saying to insulin, we don't want any more of the glucose. You take it someplace else. That's really what's happening. Insulin has a job. It's necessary. And its job is to transport glucose out of the system. First place it's going to go is muscles, then it's going to the liver, then it's going to the brain, and then it's going to the adipose tissue, and then it's going to get wrapped around your organs, and then you're also going to start seeing growth of skin tags and every other which thing. Okay? So insulin resistance is the issue that 93% of Americans have, and only 80%, no, not the 93% is out of the University of North Carolina. So you can question me on anything you want, guys, because I will be able to cite the reference we talk about. And insulin resistance is a metabolic lifestyle issue that is preventable. Okay, it is preventable. And so we want you not to have to deal with it. What the heck is going on? Get out of here, guys. There we go. Perfect. All right. So we got John here. Hey, John, good evening. How are you tonight?
Hi, George. I'm good.
Here we go, John.
Ooh.
Good. Did you get your computer fixed today?
Well, he had a
Did you get your computer fixed today?
No, I'm going to pick it up tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, great. Cool. All right. Good. Cool. Congratulations. So, John, I'll let you go quick
It's on the way.
tonight, but how about what's your story? Why are you engaged in this mission?
Well, right now I am kind of tired of being two of me. And being a swimmer, being fit for like a total of 8 years, and then ending up with a body like this, being on blood pressure since the mid '90s, and the weight just kept going up and up and up. Tried 2 different weight loss programs, with a little success, but it didn't stick. And just brain fog, forgetting stuff. So that's kind of where I was, and kind of why I thought about doing something like this, especially after I saw the big, huge changes that you've done. Kind of like, how are you doing this, and what are you doing? And here I am.
Yeah, I did have a little bit of a change, didn't I? A little Mr. Belly so big, right?
the little Bahamian boys, yeah.
The little Mr. Belly so big. That was right there. That's Mr. Belly so big, guys. I mean, that's what the native kids call me. They call me Mr. Belly so big. And and no wonder. I mean, good gravy. I mean, there was this guy trying to get out of there, Mr. Belly so big. This guy was in there and trying to get out of there. And so, yeah, the kids were rightly so to say Mr. Belly so big. So you wanted to help clear brain fog. You want to decrease your gravity challenge, right? You want to.
Yeah, I've like shrunk. I've shrunk an inch since high school. Believe it or not.
Height, you're talking about, right?
In height, yes, height.
Yeah. So gravity is winning, is what you're telling me. Yeah,
majorly.
And then I know that you're on a couple meds, right? I mean, there's a medicine cabinet that's a kitchen cabinet that's 2 cabinets wide.
Yep. Yeah. Fish oil, multivitamin, aspirin, ibuprofen. There's 2 different types of antidepressants, a diuretic, a Lipitor, atorvastatin for cholesterol, another blood pressure, a atenolol, and then another diuretic. So every day, like George and I went down to Miami, and I had the whole thing, but I knew what pills I needed to take at what time, and just amazing. I'm tired of doing that too, and the money that the insurance and I are spending on all that junk is just, it's ridiculous.
John, I haven't asked you this question yet, but when your doctors are prescribing the blood pressure medicine, when they're just prescribing the water pills, when they're prescribing the antidepressants, when they're prescribing the cholesterol, the lipid lowers, when they're prescribing that, even erectile dysfunction or retinopathy, or the neuropathy, the pain in the legs, the inflammation in the joints, fatty liver and obesity and the body fat. Did anybody ever discuss with you insulin resistance?
No, not even. Since I started on blood pressure medication in probably mid to late '90s, what is that? 30 years. Nobody has ever mentioned insulin resistance.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, nothing.
all those years. So how many years have you been on blood pressure medication?
Let's say, was it then 30?
30 years. And
About.
no one ever talked about blood pressure medication or about insulin resistance.
Nope.
With the hypertension, they didn't discuss insulin resistance.
Nope. Not at all.
Nothing. Now you're pre-diabetic, so I mean your blood is such that currently they're not talking about your blood sugar, right? They're not talking about your blood sugar because they haven't dealt with your insulin yet. So,
nope.
Right?
Yeah, right.
But they haven't talked about these other animals in terms of insulin resistance. That's interesting.
And I've even had like 4 different cardiologists that they did, like, supposedly I had an abnormal heartbeat, and then I asked the last one cardiologist that I had, do I have an abnormal heartbeat? And no. I'm like, well, then why did somebody say that I did? So just so they could get me in and have somebody to fill a slot or something. It's just, nobody said anything about insulin resistance. Yeah, here, take a pill.
Well, and then is that now that you're starting to look and see at this kind of thing, it's amazing that the natural protocol that you're on is the only non-pharmaceutical statin in the world. There's nobody else can manufacture the product we have that is a natural, proven, better than any statin. Isn't it? It's amazing. With clinical studies to back it up, isn't it?
It is. It's like, and even like in the late 90s, I remember talking about that, or hearing that it's just covering the symptoms. It's not, these pills aren't dealing with the cause. And but they weren't. The conversation was with some friends about, like, maybe, well, supposedly I have a high blood pressure, and that's kind of what we were talking about. But this was like 30 some years ago. So, and still 30 years later, somebody's finally, well, let's talk about getting rid of the root instead of the symptoms. So here I am.
There you go. Perfect. I love it because it's true. And it's just amazing. I know, like, I never had any conversations. At 73, I've seen a doctor or two, a clinician or two. And
I think you lived with one for a while.
Yeah. There's been times that they wanted to prescribe and we love doctors. We love pharmacists. We understand there is a time and place and need for them.
Right.
If we have an acute issue, but at the same time, food should be your medicine. Food should be your medicine. Our bodies naturally know how to heal when given the correct environment. When given the proper amounts and proper environment, the body can do a great job on its own. Right. But most prescriptions all fall into the fact that they're petroleum based.
Yeah, that's the first time I heard that. Was a couple of weeks ago when you mentioned it. So I'm like, I don't think oil tastes very good. So
there you go. But if someone thinks that I'm giving misinformation, I love the movie, Christmas Story. I love the idea of the double dog dare you bet. I love the double dog dare you. I double dog dare you to look up the symptoms that you have, that I'm talking about, that we're dealing with here. Grab your favorite Chat GPT or Gronk or Gemini or whatever, and ask it, is your condition, is it related in any way, shape, or form to insulin resistance? And then come back and tell me what you find. Because we already know, yes, it is in there. It is in there. It is going to be listed. The gestational diabetes, to all the diabetes, right? Well, erectile dysfunction, retinopathy, kidney disease, blindness, retinopathy, neuropathy, Alzheimer's disease, PCOS, obesity, childhood obesity, high cholesterol, fatty liver, body fat, polycystic ovarian syndrome, hypertension, coronary artery disease. Guys, all of them have a root cause of insulin resistance. Insulin resistance. Obesity, people are panicking and doing such things to their bodies, trying to correct a lifestyle issue, that they're taking what was supposed to be an attempt to try to control blood sugar. That's what those pens and Ozempic and all those guys were. Originally, they were designed at a much lower dose. Follow me on this. On a much lower dose to try to help contribute to the lowering of blood glucose. Okay, that was its original intent. Well, someone double dogged the scientists, whatever, and they quadrupled the value, or they X'd it up, that now it can help lose weight. And beings, nobody really, we're not going to body shame anybody, and it's okay to have a gravity challenge, but nobody really wants that gravity challenge. Nope. And so they're all flooding with billions of dollars to take pills and shots that everybody knows is going to end and reverse and come back worse than you started. Now, you could say, well, Vilya, how could you dare challenge that they'll come back worse than they started? Well, I can quote quite a few research studies from universities on that. Number two is just follow me on the math. Just simple follow logic. I dare you to follow logic. I double dog dare you to follow. I love double dog dare. I think it's the cutest thing watching someone put their tongue on a flagpole. I frosted my dad's Mercury Comet in Freeman, South Dakota. I went like that on the bumper sticker to see my breath. I got my lower lip stuck to the bumper. Wasn't funny.
It hurt.
It really did. So when I say double dog dairy, I'm willing to put my mouth literally where it is. So the thing is, once you look at it, and if you go look at it and you see how it all runs together, insulin resistance. Now, someone that's on taking one of those shots, it is clinically proven in multiple studies that of the weight you lose, 20 to 40% is lean muscle and bone. Okay, follow me on that. So let's say it's 40%. Let's just give me 40%. And let's say you lost, because they have trained you. They have brainwashed you to go look at LBSs. They have brainwashed you to look at the scale, not how your clothes fit, not anything else, just LBSs. Okay? So you go look at the scale, and your scale says you're down. You've lost weight. Wonderful, wonderful, boys and girls. But the issue is that if that was 30 pounds and 40% was lean muscle, that's 12 pounds of muscle. Let's say it was 40 pounds and let's say I'm wrong. Let's say all the studies I'm quoting are wrong, and we'll go to 20%. So you lost 40 pounds. 20% of 40 is what? 8, 10 pounds? Where are you ever, and on what planet are you ever going to get that muscle mass back? Because you know what? When you get off of it because you can't afford it, or you have some kind of issue, or your insurance stops paying for it, therefore you decide you can't afford it, or whatever, and you stop and you have not made any changes to your eating, lifestyle, or dietary habits, how do you think the weight is not going to come back with a vengeance? Number one, you haven't changed your lifestyle. You haven't changed your caloric intake. You haven't taken your food intake. You haven't changed the sequence of the order of the food that you eat. So you're back at the same thing that you were whenever you started, just on the intake. Just on the intake. Now, during that wonderful gold drive that you had to become more Hollywood, to be more whatever look you wanted, right? And you look at muscle, where does 80% of the blood glucose go first? The muscle. Well, you just lost 20 to 40% of the muscle because you're taking that shot or pill. So that means that glucose, because you haven't changed that intake, that glucose is going to have to go find another place to go. And the liver says, oh, no way in heck yesterday, tomorrow, we're already full. Because we got to do glycation. We got to make ketones. That's what we're supposed to do. So you start storing around your fatty liver, getting towards psoriasis. You get, oh, and by the way, you probably lost the fat cells, but you're going to stuff those full and more and more. And then you're going to start what? Growing the belly fat, growing around the organs. You're going to start peeing. You're going to start having the skin tags. You start looking like a cactus because you got all these buds coming out of your neck and your skin, your eyes, your ears, your underarms. And then anthocyanthus, where you start looking like you got black under your neck or your forehead and underneath the armpits. And your hair starts to fall out. And the ED or the PCOS, that goes away. You're feeling pretty good about yourself. Now that goes down. Now the tent pulls down. And your blood pressure starts going up. And your cardiovascular disease issues start increasing. And type 2 comes back with a vengeance because now you've got more blood glucose and less places to store it. That's going to spike. And then your insulin's going to go up. And then your insulin and your blood glucose is going to cross over, and congratulations, you're now a type 2 diabetic. And then they're going to tell you, well, you need to stop taking more salt. You cut salt down to 0, you automatically promise you're going to become a type 2 diabetic. Congratulations. You just caused that to go through. And then. So insulin resistance is a real deal. And our job, our passion is to help you, your family, not experience the things that I've experienced, where I had a critical emergency metabolic situation. John has fortunately not gotten that far off the scale. He's off the scale.
Thank you.
But he's not as far bad metabolically as I was on that particular realm. Okay?
Well, you weren't on any medications either.
And I was on no medications. And I corrected myself without any medications. Exactly correct, too.
Yep.
The protocol that we both are on now is 100% natural. It's patented. There's over 20 trials, clinical research, peer-reviewed research showing its efficacy. It has a 90-day money-back guarantee. we're in 63 countries worldwide. You just don't wake up and get to say, hey, I've got a veggie vitamin and I'm going to sell it in Korea or India or England. You look how restricted they are on food sources in the European market. Look at the number of ingredients that they will not even accept from the US that they feed us here, that you feed your children. They won't accept GMO. And we have it in everything here. Everything. And so our protocol, what we're involved with, is the simplest, easiest thing in the world. So we're on a mission. Our mission, guys, is to help you become healthier. Our mission is to help you live a longer, healthier life. We want you to have more health at the end of your lifetime than life at the end of your health time. We want your family not to have to endure things that you could have prevented. We just have a dear friend whose sister, at 38, passed away from metabolic complications to a metabolic disease. He had the protocol, didn't use it. The only way our protocol does not work is if you don't open the box. We guarantee that our protocol, when properly utilized, and it's all of what, 3 drinks, guys? I mean, 2 teas and a fiber.
At the minimum.
Yeah, like that's all they have. That's the minimum. There's no calorie counting. John, did anybody that you worked with them? You were doctors and nutritionists and everything else. Were you ever told to move more and eat less?
Yeah, pretty much.
Were you ever told to eat like 6 times a day to keep your metabolism up?
Yeah, several different times.
Isn't that ridiculous now that you know it?
It's like, yeah, like, where did you get your info? Now I'm like, where did you get your information? Why are you telling me this? And, and it was in the program. I mean, it was actually a weight loss program that said, set your clock every 2 hours and eat a little bit. And so you're just like shrinking your stomach or something, but you're still maintaining the insulin level the whole time. So that wouldn't work.
Exactly. When they tell you to eat, eat little snacks. What happens is that your blood glucose spikes. Eat a little bit. It doesn't eat a teeny bit. You eat anything and your blood glucose is going to go up, especially if it's carbs. And most of your snacks are what? Carbs, crackers, bars, smoothies, energy drinks, muffins, crackers,
cookies.
Cookies. But anyway, so the spike is going to go up. And if it goes up, we've all learned 1,000 years ago, what goes up must come down. Well, how does it come down? There's a thing called insulin. So insulin's got to go above it and push down on it. Insulin has to push it down. Okay? And then if you eat every 2 hours, guess what? It's about right here. And you're like, oh, I need to eat again. Then guess what? It goes right back up. And your poor insulin's up here going, what the flying? When do I get a rest? And it doesn't get a rest until we do what? Till we sleep. When we sleep, we finally stop eating. So then if you're eating, not eating while you're sleeping, you're really fasting, aren't you? You're really fasting. So what we do in the protocol, ladies and gentlemen, is that we just continue our sleep fast for a couple of more hours. There's, guys, when you wake up in the morning, you are not starving. Look at your belly and tell me you're starving. Obviously not. We have days of fat storage, days of fat storage. Okay. So if we maintain that sleep fast, I just call it sleep fast. You're sleeping. You know, if you think about this, if you didn't wake up until noon, would you have eaten? No. Just because you woke up at 7 doesn't mean you have to eat at 7. We're just going to sleep fast. We're going to continue that sleep fast. And what makes it easier is you can drink a little tea that we have, patented tea, chlorogenic acid tea. It has a lot of other theobromine, supplements, and things. What it does is it keeps you satiated. It keeps you feeling fine. You do not have I got to eat now. I got to eat now. You don't. That's a habit, or you're bored. So when we get up, we start sipping on the tea. Okay. Then we finally have a meal. And when we have that meal, that first meal of the day, no matter when you have it, you can call it breakfast. Literally, because you're breaking your fast. Breakfast is not defined by a bowl of cornflakes and a banana and an orange juice. That is not that you may think that's a breakfast, and that's what you may have had since you were yesterday and tomorrow young. But that's a made-up thing. That's been marketed to you on the television. They tell a lie to you and you visual it. You see it and you hear it again. And you hear it again. And you hear it again. Tell lie a vision. So when that happens, when you go to the stores, you're a kid because they got you on Saturday morning cartoons back when we had Saturday morning cartoons. You were making sure when you went to the store with mom, grandma, grandpa, whoever you went to the store with, that they got Tony or Snap and Crackle or Toucan, right? Or Cuckoo. And the
Captain.
rabbit Captain and Chick the rabbit tricks are for all of those things. You were color coded.
Toucan Sam.
And Toucan, and you were color coded. You couldn't read, but by gum, you remember the animal and the colors. And the fact that you were at the end of the aisle and you turned the aisle, you could already see 40 feet down the row, you could see at your eyeball level that toucan and the colors. You already knew that. They have you so programmed that's how that was. And as you got older, think about this. Look at the grocery store the next time you go there. Look at the grocery store. The age of the cereals is the eyeball of the children, of the people. What's at the very top? The gluten pooping cereals.
It's like bran and wheat.
Exactly. The gluten pooping cereals, right? I mean, just think about the strata of the ages where they're brainwashed you into that location. So in our protocol, guys, we drink 2 teas because that does a great job for us. And with our largest meal, or some of us with every meal, like all 2 of them, we'll have drink a fiber. We'll put a fiber in front of it. Like I had a BLT tonight. Okay, I had a BLT tonight. Guess what? That's bread, right? B for bread. Well, the bread I have is sprouted grain. I mean, it's really good bread in terms of all the ingredients. So it's a sprouted, it doesn't matter. And then real fat, because I butter my bread with real fat. Okay. And real bacon, then it's sugar-free bacon, and garden fresh tomatoes, garden fresh lettuce. I'd raise my own avocados if I could, but I put in avocados on it. So there you go. Oh, and a slice of cheese. Real cheese, not slices, because they can't name it cheese. They can't say cheese on slices. Just telling you, that's how it is. So that's my BLT. But I had a fiber ahead of it. I have no guilt whatsoever because I know I had my fiber. And the majority of what I eat on my meal was fiber, right? And a protein, fiber, fat, and protein. Ta-da. There you go. I plan my meal. So we don't count carbs. We don't count calories. We do watch our order of food, and we do take a fiber. We don't snack in between times. We give our body a rest. So that's really the protocol. That's how this thing works. And so we start looking at real proof and how things work, guys. One, just like this is me down to a 28-inch waist. I've already been fat, sick, and nearly dead. I don't want anybody in your family to go through this. There's our buddy John, the Iceman. I think he's down 90 pounds. He had a foot ulcer that wouldn't heal. Now he's not even diabetic anymore. Protocol. His beautiful wife, Kathy, great girl. You wouldn't recognize her now. John, you wouldn't. You met her in Miami. She doesn't look like that at all, does she?
Nope.
Not even close.
No, she's very nice.
Very nice. And here's Andrea, our buddy Andrea. And Andrea, good gravy. She saw this picture and she compared to this picture. And she goes, and our friend said, you didn't have a neck. And she didn't. She didn't have a neck. Look at that. Look at that. How gorgeous and beautiful that is. Here's our friend, Dr. Canning. Now, this is 35 days apart. 35 days apart. Here's his wife. PCOS returns 2 months apart. These are all natural shots. Jimmy doesn't have a thyroid. Look, you're not supposed to be able to do this if you don't have a thyroid, right? You're supposed to be all swollen up and inflamed. Nope. Sorry. Lauren, Sheridan. See, now, the one thing about John, I mean, we were talking a little bit ago about, you had some antidepressants and stuff. The reason you have those is because your gut is screwed up. It's the biome. It's the belly. Our gut controls our brain. The serotonin, all the wonderful habits and all those wonderful juices that go up here are from the gut. And if the gut's a mess, that's why people that are getting those synthetic shots and things, that's why they are more prone to self-harm than the population. People that are on those show more propensity to self-harm than the general population. And yet they keep taking it, yet they keep prescribing it. So they get antidepressants and then too. The root cause is neither one of those two. The root cause needs to be fixed, and that's what we can do. Now, this is a pharmacist, guys. You'd think he would know the right things to do, right? Look at this. Look at that difference. He's a doctor of pharmacy. On the left is your normal, take your normal silver pills and whatnots. On the right is our natural protocol. Which should you rather be if you were he? 90 days. We have a 90-day money-back guarantee. Was there anybody, do you think he's going to send it back after 90 days? Absolutely not. Natural, safe, no Shar-Pei skin. People with the shots have what? They have the Ozempic face. They got wrinkles. They start looking like Shar-Peis. Let's face it. I'll get some up pictures of Dan. And when I show you her pictures now, she just got back from vacation. John, you'll look at her like, that's the same lady. Wait till you see it. And Tim too. Look, this is a month apart.
Wow.
That's a month apart. That's inflation, inflammation of the face because of the inflammation. That's a month. Anybody think that would be a bad thing? No. Okay. Lupus. You can't do anything about lupus. Oh, okay. Okay, what did she say? Oh, off meds for rheumatoid arthritis, which is lupus, and diabetes, and lost 40 pounds. Are you kidding me? Huh. Naturally? Okay. Sue, we gotta love Sue. Everybody loves Sue. This is the same lady. Her kids were going to put her in a nursing home. Now look. A. Marie. PCOS, baby. This is what happens when this could be John. No one told him about insulin resistance. No one ever told this guy about insulin resistance, Earl. Nobody ever told him, Carl, excuse me. No one told him about drinking soda and juice wasn't good. He was drinking soda and juice after he got the first leg cut off. No one said, hey, stop doing that. Wouldn't you think? I mean, just for a half a second, wouldn't you think insulin resistance might come to mind? Wouldn't you think that, you need to cut back on sugar and sweets? Wouldn't you think maybe? Guys, we're on a mission, literally a mission. Our goal is to help save your life, save your family's life, so you don't have to go through these things. This is Vicky. Vicky's on insulin. She's an insulin pump diabetic. You're not supposed to lose weight. You're not supposed to lose belly fat. Look at that. She's down almost she's on over 70% of her insulin. Keith was just on a call with us a minute ago, and Keith in 2 days dropped his insulin all the way 108 units. He's no longer even taking insulin. In 2 days. He has died twice. He died on the day that his grandson's gender reveal was done. He died that day. He's now here. He's going to be able to see his grandson. He's going to be able to play with his grandson. He may even be able to play with his great-grandson. So that's really, guys, kind of what's really about what we're doing. We are on a mission, and all we really want to do is help you. We have all the studies. We have all the clinical research. We have all the ability to show you everything. We are a nutraceutical. We aren't pharmaceuticals. We're in the PDR. I double dog dare you. I'll go back here, and I think I'll close with this tonight, John. I'll double dog dare you to go to the PDR. It's now referred to as the prescriber's digital reference, but it used to be the physician's desk reference. But you can go to pdr.net, look up any and every drug you take. I double dog dare you to go look up any and every drug you take and look at the black box warning. Look at all of the warnings of death or organ failure or C or anything else. You go look it up. You look up your own prescriptions. After you go look up with Grok or ChatGPT or Gemini, if your illness, your condition is related to insulin resistance, then look up the medications that you're taking, and then come back to me and we'll look up what we recommend what we know works, and compare it to a nutraceutical. Because we know, for example, the Cleveland Clinic. Now you've heard of the Cleveland Clinic. I mean, they're just a somebody in the world, right? Just maybe the best cardio hospital in the world. But they said in such a product taken regularly could reduce cardiovascular risk on a population basis, potentially decreasing the need and or dose of lipid-lowering prescription drugs. Now, reducing the cardiovascular risk. Guys, cardiovascular is the number one leading cause of death. This natural could lower that. What you are being prescribed has not done anything but help to increase. I don't know. I don't know what else. So if you would like to have more information, get a hold of John. John has a link that can help you get it, the protocol that we're on, a 90-day money-back guarantee anywhere in the world. It's patented, so nobody can make our products. Nobody can make it. Our company is debt-free. We own the patents. We own our manufacturing. We are totally in-house. We have our own research scientists. Every batch is NSF certified. Every batch. We are also listed in Health Canada. Think about that.
FSA, HSA approved.
Absolutely. Approved, HSA, FSA approved. You don't just get vitamin to be that way. These are nutraceuticals. These are proven through clinical trials. We save and guarantee with a 90-day money-back guarantee. And you don't just get to show up and ship it in, guys. So this is what we have. This is what we believe in. We know what we are. We know it works. We have a history. Guys, that's patented. We want to help you be better. We want to help you get well. That is our mission. So I want to thank you all for being on. It's 9:00. I've got a few things to do yet tonight. John, I thank you for popping on.
No
Have
problem.
a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, George.
Thank you.
Bye.